Welcome to Hey Therapist. I'm your host, Leslie Ross. With me is my producer, Jay Wesley Lindley. Let's get mental.
Listen, I'm not very good
Hairdresser and interior designer, and I'm sure you do multiple other things
I need
too.
supermodel. I need
Oh, shit.
a comedian.
You may have seen her on a Comedy Central special, though.
Coming to you
God.
soon. I need you, for the listener, to describe me as Pamela Anderson, Anna Nicole Smith.
I mean, I could see that.
Pamela Anderson.
If you squint
Yeah.
your eyes and
I
you
can
tilt
see
a little
Pamela
bit,
for
you
sure.
could get it. See? It works.
Jennifer Coolidge.
Jennifer Coolidge. I do want a hot dog real bad.
Oh, my God.
Okay, that was pretty good, though.
We should have...
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Hey Therapist.
Hey, guys, we are back.
We are back, and we have a special guest, like we said we would. See, we do what we say.
We did follow through. Maybe a few weeks behind, but we're here.
We get to take breaks, too.
Do we, though?
Yes, we do.
No, we do. It's been a nice break, but I'm very excited to be back, and I feel like that we have some great and exciting topics to talk about.
I think so, too. So let's welcome our guest. Miss JC is with us.
Yeah, JC Alexander. It's really cool and very surreal to be here with one of my closest confidants. She is one of my best friends, and we have been friends for, I don't know, JC, how long? Like 9+ years now? Has it been
Something.
9? It's been a long time.
It's been a lifetime. Huh?
It's been a long time. But JC and I have worked together behind the chair. We also co-own a company together that is doing really well, Alexander and DeWitt. And we spend a lot of time together, and we still like each other. So there's that.
There's
That
days.
is-
There's days.
There's days, yeah.
We've also lived together.
We have lived together.
Oh,
We've
okay.
made it through some trenches. We've
We-
lived across from each other together, and
Living together is the true test of anything.
Yeah.
I've honestly, out of anyone that I've ever lived with, that was probably, he's the easiest one that I've lived, because we're so much alike on how we like to keep our house. So it's like, okay.
Yeah. It
That
was
was-
the most beautiful, curated, cleanest
Can't
house.
even imagine.
Oh, and there were shootouts right behind it the entire time we lived there. So, living in Dallas was great. We loved it.
Yeah,
Just
it
dodging
was.
bullets and
We lived our fattest, most amazing
it
life.
was a good time.
We
It was
were
a good time.
both exactly 200 pounds lighter
I was
now.
a fat ass
Wow.
Paris Hilton when we lived in Dallas. It was great. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, we thank you God for GLP-1s.
This should be brought to you and sponsored by
Sponsored by.
GLP-1s.
Literally that and Botox.
And for me, a little bit of Juvederm. Just a little touch.
Just a little dash.
Just a little dash here and there. My whole face at this point.
No, it's. I know in the past, if you have been listening to our podcast, I have mentioned JC's name. So now you have a face to put with that, and she's here, and we're going to talk about a little bit of her background and her story and things like that. So
What a gorgeous face it is. See,
Yeah, beautiful.
I knew she would come full glam. She always
Well,
is.
I paid a lot of money for this face. We better showcase it right. So
When I get my facelift, I'll do that too. When I win the lottery and get the facelift I want, it will always
if I
be
win the lottery,
showcased.
you will not know who I will be unrecognizable.
Kris Jenner is 70 years old and looks younger than her daughters.
She truly does. The bitch is snatched. And as she should be. She paid a lot of money for that.
Exactly.
new face.
$500,000.
But you know what? I've heard people say I could never do. I'm like, it's my face.
Uh-huh.
It is my face. Yeah, I'm going to pay as much money as I need to pay.
If I win the
To make
lottery,
sure I'm looking
trust me,
snatched.
I'm paying. Y'all don't even.
Y'all don't want to know.
Y'all don't even want to know.
Listen, they're going to have to, I'll be on a helicopter. They're going to have to put one on a FERS because I'm just going to helicopter to a FERS, drop down, go get my little thing and get out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do with stupid money.
Stupid money would be nice.
Stupid money would be really
But you have
good.
to win the lottery or have stupid money to get a good facelift, though. That's the,
Oh, yeah.
that's the kicker.
$500,000. That's all
Unfortunately,
it
my
takes.
money's just stupid at this point. It's not stupid money. It's just stupid.
Agreed. I know that feeling. JC, now you're on the spot.
Oh, Lord.
Tell us a little bit about growing up.
Well, it all started when I was 3.5. No. I was born in Paris, Texas. Born and raised in Paris, Texas. I'm an only child, which has a lot of misconception of being a spoiled brat. And no, not in my situation. My parents got divorced when I was 3.5. So my dad moved back to Dallas and we stayed in Paris. So that already kind of created a little bit of a riff in there. And it was definitely a tumultuous divorce and went on for my entire childhood, but that's a whole nother thing. But so I would spend a lot of time in Paris, and then I would have to go to my dad's every other weekend, and then summer. So I had a lot of like split life kind of at a very young age.
Sure.
I didn't get to, a lot of my friends and stuff like that were friends that I'd had either for a very, very long time, or I just didn't make a whole lot of new friends until I got older, and then I became a social little butterfly. So I started out in Paris and lived there until right after I graduated high school. I moved to Dallas for the first time. Also, I have like ADHD and ADD and the ABCs, so y'all are going to have to tell me to land the plane and loop it back around. But anyways, growing up in Paris was definitely very interesting just because my family's not from there, and Paris is definitely my family settled here and we've been here for generations and generations, and who's your people, stuff like that. So I already felt kind of outsider in that range. And then growing up being me, because I am a trans woman. So growing up in Paris, Texas, obviously feeling different. And then finally learning, like I always felt different, but did not know what it was, because trans people have been around forever. Yes. Just letting everyone know that they've been around forever.
It's not new.
It's not new. It's just, it was definitely more publicized, and that didn't happen until probably, I couldn't put a word behind it until the summer of my junior year of high school.
Okay.
And that's where I was like, that makes sense for a lot of the things that I felt like growing up. Like I wanted to play with makeup from a little, 3 years old. My mom was in ballet, so I would go and get in her little tutus and run around my grandmother's house and just put on a whole production. And that was, to me, that was playing. That was having a good time. That was, being myself, which also made me different than every other kid, growing up. I was very theatrical.
Still is.
I don't know what you're talking about. No. But so, yeah, growing up and then being a trans kid, not knowing it, and then coming into it, my senior year of high school, I kind of just was like, I don't know why I need to dull myself down for anybody else when, I don't want to be ordinary. Nothing about me is ordinary at all. So I don't want to do that. I want to be myself. So that was definitely different for the town of Paris, Texas. Especially, I graduated from Northmore High School with, I think we had right under 300 kids in my class. But I definitely had just from the things that I went through growing up, I had a very big, I'm going to get you before I get got, because you ain't going to get me because I can't get got type of personality.
It's the trauma.
It's the trauma, baby. And so now I still to an extent have a little bit of that personality. I think I'll always have that just as a defense mechanism, but I've definitely learned that not everybody going to get you, and you don't have to get everybody either. Even if they've gotten you, you just let it go and keep it going, keep it moving, keep it grooving. But definitely it was different growing up in Paris and being different in Paris. I wouldn't have traded it at all.
So how was it received by your family? Like when you were a little gay girl playing in the tutus.
Just a little queen running around.
How was that received? Like, were you told not to do that because boys don't do that? Were you like,
well,
did you
the funny
get
part
that?
is I was kind of embraced, at least my grandmother, I was definitely embraced by that. And if we could have anyone on this podcast that could tell you some stories, it's Amy. Riley knows Amy. Amy's got some stories, but she just wanted me to play. She wanted me to play and just express myself. She was, in that aspect, that's where she shined, of just like, well, you're just going to be you. But she also, to have a grandparent like this is very lucky. Her and my grandfather owned nightclubs in Dallas, and they actually owned one of the first gay clubs in the neighborhood. So I didn't know that. We didn't learn that until
it was 4 years ago, I think, that we found that out.
I was like,
wow, that's cool.
Oh, okay. Amy's been waving the pride flag this whole time. Didn't even know it.
She was an ally before allies were cool.
But we still had to do a lot of things in secret. It was definitely like, I'm going to buy you this bag. I'm going to get you the Bratz doll backpack, but you got to take the Thomas the Train one to school. and you can take this home, but it stays at your house type of situation. And my mom, her being a single mom, and just if you knew my mother, she's a very just kind, graceful person. She really is. She embraced it. She definitely, I think, still struggles to come to terms with it.
Sure.
Which I can imagine for any parent. That's going to be hard.
It's
going to be a little difficult. And then with my dad, our relationship, because he lives so far away and just kind of some of the things coming up, definitely there's been a strain on it. We're good now. Like we're fine. We speak and everything's fine. And he definitely tries very, very hard. So I will give credit on that too. He tries very hard. My stepmom is very supportive in that, and she tries really, really hard too. So luckily, I'm very, very lucky in the fact that I do have a family that supports me there.
What was it like in the friend group? So you said you had some close friends. Like, how was it making friends and just like being yourself and not being judged by that, especially in rural Texas?
Well, when I was younger as a kid, I secluded a lot. I was very much, and I think that was just part of the only child thing too, is like, I can self-soothe. I'm a very like independent person. I will almost be like, I'll just shadow, you know what I mean? Like I'll disappear. But once I got into high school, I was definitely, I think things were just, we couldn't stuff everything down, and we were just, I was definitely more theatrical and out there. I also struggled a lot at the very beginning stages of high school, just kind of trying to figure myself out. I mean, everyone at that age is already doing that. And then for me, like really struggling with like, who the fuck am I? Like, what is going on? Like this doesn't make sense. My hormones are raging. Things are changing. Everything's just, I don't know. So I struggled a lot trying to find myself. But that junior and senior year, it was just like, okay, well, we're here now. We're good. So I had some really good, my little girlfriends, we were a whole table that you just did not want to come and mess with. And we actually work with one of them now. And she's the exact same. We're all kind of the same way of like, you're not going to get me. We all had each other's backs. Good. So I did luckily have a good high school experience. And I think it is for the simple fact of it was just like, you're not going to mess with her. And she also going to let you know you're not going to mess with her. I was lucky in that aspect. Very, very, very lucky. And I don't ever think about it it wasn't a privilege to have that. You know, there are a lot of people that go through a lot of bad situations in that. So I'm very lucky in that.
And what about in school? Like, how were teachers? Like, did you?
That's where I got the most pushback.
Transition, change pronouns? Like, how? Like, what was your?
So not really. I mean, I still went by my given name, my birth name. Still went by male pronouns just because I was still navigating that. But I actually got the most pushback and the most harassment from administration. My high school principal, my senior year, would actually call me out of class at least 2 to 3 times a week. And I would be brought into his office, and behind closed doors, it would be this, well, I can't legally tell you, but it is a distraction, and this, that, and the other. And I would just be sitting there like, okay. But it's totally fine that somebody's walking around here with their ass crack hanging out and not bathing, or, you know what I mean? Like anything like that. Like, it's fine. We're going to let everything else go. Or that they're literally, I mean, there were kids that would run through with a Confederate flag through my house. You know what I mean? Like, but that's not, it's fine. It's boys are just being boys then,
Some
it's totally fine.
Change.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so I'm just like, okay. And then finally I had the nerve to just be like, listen, you legally cannot say any of this shit to me. And you're not going to. Like, this is enough. I'm actually missing out on my education because you're pulling me out of class all the time, which of course he got a little combative with, but he later got demoted to the bus barn. So, I wasn't there to get that justice, but I definitely started pushing back and saying, no, you're not, you can't do this. Like, you definitely cannot do this. And I'm letting you know that you're not going to use that power over me.
Sometimes karma does get there.
Karma gets there. And I'm one of those that I will wait it out.
Get there.
Honey,
That's right.
It might take some time, but I'll sit there and I'll watch it and wait it out. So, yeah, I mostly got the most, I guess you could say, bullying was from the adults, sadly. But I also had some that really supported me, too. I'm also a more optimistic person, I would say, at times, to where I will look at well, you know what? It's shit. It is shit. We're wading through shit, but I got somebody with me. I've got support, So it wasn't easy. It was not, I will make light of it just because that's me. And I'm not going to sit there and try to dwell on it. I'm more of a, you know what, we got through it and I'm better because of it. So,
So what would you say to other little boys, little girls who just don't feel themselves in their skin and they think, well, maybe this is, but I don't want to get that judgment. I don't want people to think of me in a different way, or I'm not comfortable enough to start the transition. I'm not comfortable enough to be who I feel like I am, because I deal with that a lot of, you know, and I'm afraid of my parents. I'm afraid that these people aren't going to love me anymore and all of that stuff, because that's a real thing. I mean, we know that happens. So what would you encourage other little trans babies in the world to be and to think and to know when they're in those ages where everything is just raging and you're like, I think I'm sure, but I'm not, like, is this just so, like, because, you know, people like to say it's a phase. I love it when I hear that from adults too,
baby,
when they're talking about their kids
this phase
who are coming out or who are transitioning and all this. It's a phase. I mean, is it though? But even if it is, let's support it. Like, that's,
well,
you know,
support anyone trying to find. I mean, we're all just trying to raw dog life and figure it out ourselves. You know what I mean? If it is, there are certain situations that 1010%, we're just trying to find ourselves and we're just trying to try things. But by no means am I going to be the best spokesperson, but I will say, like, my philosophy in life, and this is not just being trans, and I kind of relate it to everyone is going through a transition in life when you think about it, when you're just trying to find yourself and become someone. Baby, this is the miracle. We're living the miracle. And we're the only ones that get to experience it. I can't experience it for Riley. I can't experience it for Leslie. I can't experience it for anybody else. So in that, I'm not going to let what Riley thinks is okay or is going to judge me on, or Leslie or whoever. Baby, that's none of my concern or business at the end of the day. I'm going to live for me because this is my one shot at it. I don't give a shit if anyone disagrees with it. Pardon my language. I hope I can speak freely. I figured I could. I've listened. I've been listening in. I've heard some rants. I mean, really, at the end of the day, when it comes to, if you're worried about judgment and losing people, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. But I'm a big believer, and it is morbid. I came into this world alone, and at the end of the day, I'm coming out alone too. Now, I'm going to try to take everybody that I've got and, you know, collect my people that I can rally with and enjoy this with. But at the end of the day, I'm living life to the fullest experience that I possibly can, because I don't know. One, I've lost a lot of people from a young age and young people. And I just don't know when I'm going to wake up tomorrow or not, you know, if I'm going to. So I'm going to live life to the fullest and try to have as much fun and beauty in it that I can. And if that means people judge me or think that I'm weird or different, so be it. I don't give a shit. Because I think what they're doing is weird. And you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I can sit there and do the same thing for some whatever we want to define as normal. I could sit there and say that that's just the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life, but it's not my life. You know, at the end of the day, you've got to live life for you. And when you start living life for you and not for everybody else, things just kind of fall in place, and you're just like, hey, it's a beautiful life and I'm going to live it.
It really does. I mean, like, to add on to that, like, my advice to anyone from the LGBTQI community, plus whatever we're adding on
There's a lot of
at
letters.
this moment, for anyone, you know, that struggles with that, like, it is live the life for you. And as hard as that is to process, like, because it's like, oh, I just can't believe, like, someone is not accepting me or not wanting to be, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. You're going to attract the people that are supposed to be there with you. And always remember that that's going to happen. JC is right. At the end of the day, like, you come into this life alone and you're going to leave alone. So that is something that you do have to wrap your head around at some point in your life. But to our young babies out there that is very confused, just know that you choose you today. And there are going to be other people that choose you too. And that's the best advice that I know I can give is, I never thought in a million years that I would be surrounded by the people that I'm surrounded by today. Because looking back at my childhood, it was not great. It was not accepted. I did not have a good group of friends. I didn't quite have that, but now I do. You know, and I wish that my mindset would have been different, that I would have known, you know, I can make it another day. So I think we all can sit here and agree that if you choose the life that you want to live for yourself, then the people also will choose you as well. And you will get those people around you that will surround you and embrace you and love you and accept you for who you are. So
I think it falls into that acceptance piece, like y'all are talking about, because I mean, you were lucky enough to have this family that would embrace that and encourage you to be you, play in the skirts, do the things. Here's all of this. Because, I mean, grandma's an ally. You didn't even know it.
Baby, Amy was there. She was ready to run.
So, and a lot of people don't get that. I think you experience that for sure, and the families, when people come out as gay or trans or whatever, families have that sticker shock, essentially. And then it's what did I do wrong? Why is my kid like this? It's a phase, whatever it is. Instead of saying, this is my baby. If you're happy, I'm happy for you.
Well, and I'll speak on that just a little bit too, because with my dad definitely struggled. I mean, and that I think is very common for a man to struggle with that. But, at first it was like, well, we can't do, it was a whole thing. And I'm also a big person that I give a lot of grace. I give a lot of grace, probably a little too much to some people. But I'm also a big believer in, I'm not going to sit here and try to scream it, shove it, yell it at you. You're going to come around or you're not. If you give time and you give grace and you give the same respect that I would want someone to give me if I'm having an issue is what I try to give out too. But I think because of that is the reason why we do have a relationship now is I've had a lot of friends get very frustrated at the fact of like, well, why can't, and it's like, listen, you've got to also take into consideration that man raised me. Like he was part of the birth process. He was that, regardless of how involved this, that, or the other, whatever, he's still a part of me. And also given his generation and his age and stuff like that, I got to give a little grace. This is still a lot of, not necessarily new, but it is more around. Like it's being more accepted, thank God. But it's still we're still making leaps and bounds.
Don't you think though too, like even with our friendship, because I've seen a lot of growth from your dad from when we first became friends. Your dad within the last like 4 years.
Oh yeah.
Like because when we first were friends, he was still struggling quite a bit. Wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of issues with misgendering, which if you've ever been around me, baby, I do not play that misgendering. That is one thing right there that JC has seen me almost fly the fuck off on someone. I do not play with that. So from my perspective of our friendship too, wouldn't you say that change has come in the last?
Absolutely. I mean, and I think it's because I've just said, hey, I've got to know where they're going to be comfortable at too. This is already uncomfortable, and letting them kind of watch them process it. Because we've never had a full blown like sit down. But that's not my family either. My family is to sweep it under the rug.
But I will say,
but they will acknowledge, and that to me is a big thing. And anything that's another thing that I could tell you. If you give me acknowledgement, I can work with you. If you can acknowledge your faults, or if you can acknowledge anything that's going on, I can work with you. And that's one thing with them is that they've definitely at least acknowledged, and they have tried, and they're doing what they can. And I know it's still like, it's uncomfortable. Life is uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable. I'm one that's going to laugh at the uncomfortability. I'd rather sit there and giggle and make a joke out of it and just get through it. You know, if you're not being absolutely an asshole, then I won't be an asshole back. But
there was definitely a lot of uncomfortable conversations with your dad that I was even present for. And I was like,
okay.
Oh my gosh. Definitely sitting around their kitchen table and a lot of conversation, and especially like, I don't know, like why they felt so comfortable to be able to talk about it with me there. And I think too, they had not been around. They were very shocked by me when I first came into the picture because I remember them being like kind of confused because I'm not super feminine. You know what I mean? So I think that they were just like, there's this gay guy that's friends with JC, and I think that they thought at first we were dating.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Did they think that y'all were
so? And they see this like almost more masculine gay man, and they're like, "What the hell is going on?" So like, there was a lot.
Is that you favor my dad a lot?
Yeah,
and I mean,
we look a lot alike.
Scary.
Like it's very weird.
So I think it was just an entire. When you came around, they were just like, the fuck is going, like, we already have like this going on, and now we've got this going on. Now they're living together. Now there's this all like it definitely, but they've come a long way.
They've come a long way.
And I'm very grateful and proud. A lot of that has been through setting some boundaries, some very hard boundaries, and just kind of having to stonewall a few things and being like, hey, listen.
Like what?
Just that with our relationship and me growing up and certain things, I think my dad carried a lot of guilt. But my dad is not a let's talk about our emotions type of person. And that's kind of, with my dad, I've had to, this is where I've learned he's doing the best he can with what he's got. And even though that might not be fundamentally the best thing,
right,
this is what this man was given. And I look at things like that. I look at his history of, well, you know, he had to grow up at 12 years old and start going and working so they could put food on the table because nobody else was working. Everybody else was on disability. And my dad was like, no. And that's where I get a lot of my work ethic from, is my dad, because he's very much like, no, we're going to get out there and go work. We're not going to just, so he had to hard up really, really fast. And when you have a parent that had to hard up really, really fast, you also end up hardening up really, really fast at a young age, especially with everything that happened between my parents. So it's been baby steps. And then to look back now compared to even before, like when I graduated high school, you want to talk about a marathon. And it's a long, slow one, but we've ran a marathon together at this point, because it was, you need to hide who you are. I'm worried about you. You're going to end up with AIDS, this, that, and the other. All the things, you know, that a scared heterosexual man that is definitely maybe not as in tune with emotions and things like that, to now where he just sees me for me and he accepts me for me.
He's so soft and gentle now compared to when we first.
He's made a lot of changes.
It's just so different. It's so different.
Yeah. Which you know, growing up, and again, my ADHD, honey, I'd be going everywhere. Going back to me growing up, I've been in therapy since I was about 8 years old. And a lot of that had to do with my parents' divorce. A lot of that had to do with some abuse that happened that even my parents don't know about. I had trauma from therapy because I had therapists that would turn around and, obviously, you know, you have to tell parents certain things, but it would be a play-by-play of what I went over in therapy.
Yeah, that's not good.
Which then could be recalculated, you know? So I had that going on too, but I learned very quickly how to deal with my emotions. And that's always been something for me that has been big, is I do not want to be the blow up. My dad's very reactive. He's a very reactive person, extremely. My stepmom, very reactive person. So those two together is like, I mean, it's just an explosion waiting to happen. Love them to death. They're the funniest people sometimes to be around, but they are also, there's moments where you're like, okay, we don't need to be here for this conversation. And growing up, there were times where like, you don't need to be in the house. So for them now, my dad with age and just finally, I think, slowing down in life, and his shell has softened so much. I mean, looking at my dad now, it's like, he's just a sweet little old man.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, that's probably within the last year, you know. Beforehand, it's like, oh, shit, here comes Gary, you know. And the funny part is I still have a little bit of that personality in me because he is my dad. So there are times where I come around the corner, it's like, oh, shit, here she comes. But him having some severe anger issues and being as reactive, it definitely, grateful for it because it put me in check. And it's something that I have strived very, 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 very hard to try to control as best as I can. Because I can definitely be Gary Jr. running around here. Thankfully, because I've been in therapy for so long. I've worked through a lot of it. I'm definitely more of a breathe it in, breathe it out, let it roll until I get to a certain point. But
tell us about your dating life over the years.
Oh, can I smoke a cigarette while we're in here? Because
I do feel like that people are very curious about that. Like, I think that that is the one thing that people always ask me on the side of our friendship is like, how is the dating part of that? And that I think what they really want to know is what your partner identifies as. That's the most questions I receive. Does your partner identify as gay? Does he identify as straight? And anyone, because it is a very confusing thing that it took me years of our friendship to understand of how does this work? Because with me, it's like, I'm gay. Okay, I'm gonna date a gay man. You know what I mean? Or a straight man, but a bisexual man would be the most,
I'm a dream in that
Yeah,
aspect.
so
Well,
it's
I
like-
think that's the funny part is people have gotten to kind of really see, because I think a lot of people will be like, well, are they dating? Like, a lot of people have assumed that you and I are dating.
Sure.
Oh, for sure.
Family,
Yeah.
friends, things like that. And don't get me wrong, we'd be perfect for each other. I always say,
Oh,
I'm
no,
his
you would
first
kill
wife.
each other.
Oh,
Are
we
you
would,
kidding?
but I'm his first wife. Don't get it
Yeah,
twisted.
she tells
honey.
everyone,
I am
which
the first
now
wife.
people are like,
Huh? Do what? And
Everybody
I'm like,
needs to
we
start
have an open arrangement. It's fine. Because I think they would think, well, it would be and it's no, God, no. And it is definitely straight married men. I'm gonna look directly in the camera. That's the funny part is I ended up my dating life. I don't even know where to start with that one because
Well, start when you're like, so when you were in high school and stuff, and you noticed, what are you attracted to, and how did that like play out for little you when you were trying
she
to figure out?
attracted to dick.
I liked the dick. I did.
Sorry.
I was attracted to dick. It didn't matter what it had. No.
Strictly dickly.
I was strictly dickly for sure. Especially at that point, I was like, hell yeah, we're going to get the rocks off.
Oh, God.
Well, the funny part is, and I think a lot of it came from not just being trans, not just I mean, I got daddy issues, mommy issues, myself issues. I got issues. And so when I was in high school, I dated older men. Like, I would go after older men. And I'm talking about, you should not, if Catch a
you should be
Predator
in
was
jail.
around, honey, I was waiting for that man to pop up. Because I lied about my age. I mean, I've always acted more mature than I am. And I've always
Well, you had to.
looked a little bit more mature than my actual age. Some people will point out it's fine. But I just know I just know how to present and be, so I would end up, it was nothing for me to go on a date with someone who was in their 30s or 40s at 16, 17. And that probably was not the best thing to do at 16 or 17. But I mean, I started that. I would have some friends and associates that were undercover brothers at the high school, at my high school, at other high schools. But also, I think it was just that, not that I agree with it or that it's healthy or anything like that. Like, just, that age where you're starting to experiment and everybody's trying to get out there and do the willy-nilly. But so that was kind of dating in high school, was not really dating. We was dicking around. And then as I got older, well, I dicked around for a while. I'm not going to lie. I did have a good time. I had a really good time.
We're not going to talk about certain things, okay?
What did I tell you? As I'm a reformed hoe.
There you go.
I used to be on these streets, baby, but no, I had a good time. I did. Dating definitely was. I was always attracted to older. I was always trying to go for big daddy. I just wanted a big daddy. I definitely got myself in some situations and predicaments. I did not actively, this is my PSA to the public. I did not actively go after married men or anything like that. I would end up with a married man and have no idea he was married until after the fact, which is very common in the gay community.
It's common in the straight community.
And the
as well.
straight community as well. I mean, it's just
common.
It's just common. It's just common. Some hoes. Just some hoes. But I started dating, like actually dating, I think probably more when I was around 24, 25 is when I started like, okay, I'm going to be serious. I've sowed my wild oats. I've thrown it to the wind and it's come back again.
You've dated some pretty good people. I mean, like, you've dated some shit ass people like we all have, but like from even like since we were friends, you've dated some
I've dated some good people.
Who you have now is incredible. Like, you couldn't
My
pick,
sweet baby.
you
My
couldn't
sweet
pick a
baby.
better partner.
No.
Like,
And
I feel sorry for him.
me too. If we're being honest, I think about it all the time. I'm like,
I told her last week at work, I said, baby, I feel so sorry for Brett sometimes.
That man loves me. That
knew
man
what he was
loves
getting.
me. I don't know, girl. I don't know. He knew everything, but I guess to like speed up through there, I went through a lot of definitely traumatizing and toxic ass relationships, and then now to end up where I'm at now, we've been together for 3 years, which is insanity to me. He is officially now the longest relationship that I've been in, the healthiest relationship that I've ever been in. I'm going to do my best not to get emotional when I talk about him because he is such a big part of my life and he has changed so much in me I now know what real love is. And I've experienced it. He's taught me to love myself more, like genuinely love myself more. and to have respect for myself because he loves me so much and he respects me. And he is, I mean, truly, God bless that man, because I can be a wild freaking fire sometimes. 1010%. I got red hair and it comes out. But I've never had someone so patient with me. I've never had someone, I mean, literally sit down, hold my hand and say, hey, we're going to work through this. And like, I remember just because of all the toxicity of dating, I mean, like it's not just, I mean, it's everyone. That's common as well as like, it's toxic as hell dating. And I'm never doing this shit again. But it is just toxic as hell dating because we all know how the dating world is now. It's Amazon Prime relationships. I can one up you in 2.5 seconds. We talk about that all the time. Like I can just order another one that's got a little bit blonder hair. She's 10 pounds lighter. You know, stuff like that. Anything like you can get one up like that and people are fine with it because we're so used to the Amazon priming. I had a lot of trust issues just because I've been cheated on, I've been beat on, I've been lied to. I've had a lot of those issues. And I remember we had been dating for like 6 months. I had told him communication is a really big deal for me. And when you're a man who is just like, I'm just out here living, I'm not doing anything crazy. Brett is a homebody and he is a to himself type of person. But in my crazy psychosis, I was like, no, he's cheating on me. Like 1010%. Like you are out there cheating on me. It's been
This sounds so familiar. I'm like sitting here like,
look away. There have been podcasts when,
y'all like,
1000%. There have been podcasts I've listened to and you'll start talking about something like, oh girl, me too, baby. It's that anxious attachment. And I know, girl, I know. Because it would be like, okay, it's been an hour and 31 minutes. Why have I not heard from you? Your time cap is an hour and a half. And you know this shit.
This sounds so familiar. I don't know who we're talking about.
I don't know either. It's so weird.
But it was one night, it was an hour and 32 minutes. And at that point, I had decided I'm blowing the bitch up. I'm blowing it up. I am going to go ahead and self-destruct everything. It's totally fine. And he was truly, honestly, just at his job, and his cousin, because he was in his hometown still, his cousin had come up there. They're talking about stuff and working on different things and just hee-hawing around. Somebody he doesn't get to see, you know, whatever. Sure. My brain is, no, you fucking somebody else. There's some strange ass bitch over there right now, and I'm about to drive 2.5 hours because we were also long distance. So you want to add into the craziness. I'm like, oh, hell no. I got 2.5 hours to drive down there and get ready to whoop everybody's ass. Because I'm crazy enough, I'll run somebody over. But
I mean, can I pause for a second? How the fuck have I managed to get 2 of y'all?
Baby.
Because you're so lucky.
You're so lucky.
Why
You're so lucky.
The universe said, oh, one ain't enough.
Here come 2.
Add another.
Here come 2.
Oh, God.
But I had written it off. I'd already made my mind up. I was like, but tomorrow morning, I'm not going to talk to him for the rest of the night. Tomorrow morning.
I remember this day, by the way.
Oh, because he could feel the heat and he didn't even know what was going on. He just was like, hey, everything okay? No, everything's terrible. I'm about to blow the whole bitch up.
She was so mad.
I was pissed. And so I decided, like, that next morning, it's over. Like, that was your shot, buddy. You blew it. You had one shot and you blew it. Well, he had texted me, and no, he had called me because he knew he fucked up also. That's the other thing is he knew, and he's very big on wanting to reciprocate, and I'll get to that in a second. He called me, and he said, hey. You know, just kind of, he knew something was up, but it was like,
water.
How bad is this going to be? And of course, I'm over, hi, what do you want? I'm going to bed. I'm tired. And he's like, well, how's your night been? I said, terrible. I'm going to bed. He said, okay. And this is truly when I knew I loved this man. Like, this is when it really, I was like, oh, shit, he might be the one. Oh, shit, he going to put up with my bullshit. He a good man, Savannah. He said, I know you're upset, and I know you're pissed off, and I understand why. He said, I'm not going to make excuses. I could have said something. He said, but we're not going to bed angry. And I want you to sit down and have a conversation with me and tell me why this triggers you so bad. So I understand for my own self why it's triggering you so bad, and so that I can do better about it. Well, what the fuck am I going to say to that? I mean, I can't blow it up now. It's, you know, so him actually, and that is Brett. Mm-hmm. That is Brett. He can be hot-headed than a motherfucker. Mm-hmm. He can, but never to me. And when I say the most patience with me, and truly, like, that is us in our relationship, is him sitting there, and it's the same back and forth, but he has healed a lot of wounds that he did not create, and he has taken the time
Right.
to do that because it is actual genuine love. And it's something I've never, ever experienced ever in my life, that type of love, ever. So I say it all the time. I'm very, 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 very lucky. And I know that I'm very lucky. It came out of nowhere, 1010%. And that was also at a time where we were like, hey, I mean, you know, we're 6 months in and we had to have the hard conversation of like, well, what's this going to look like? Because at the time, he wasn't able to move from his hometown. I wasn't going to up and leave my business that I've spent 11 years built. You know what I mean? At that point, I'm just not going to up and leave either. I can't that easily. You know, we're like, well, we're trying to figure all that out at the same time. So he's definitely a man that was like, I know what I want. I know this is what I want. And we've figured it out. And so now he moved down to Paris. I have to snatch this man on up, honey. 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's been 2 years.
Ago. So we've lived together for 2 years now. We've been together for 3.
I don't know if I've ever even asked you this, and maybe we have discussed this before, but had he dated a trans woman before? Because I don't remember us ever discussing that.
Now, I don't know about dated.
But
I think he might have experienced. I think he had experienced from what I have gathered.
Okay.
That's another thing, too, in our relationship. We do not drag a lot of our past into it. As far as that goes.
Really need to.
Because we don't need to.
It's not
because guess
necessary.
what? I'm fucking crazy. And I'm going to sit there and try to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need any extra information. But I'm also at a point now where we're so secure and I feel so fine that I'm just like, whatever. So I think he's always known he's had an attraction. Yeah. I guess you could say. And to go back to again, I'm looping around and I'm landing the plane. To go back to your question, he does identify as straight. And that, like most men that I were with previously identified as straight. That's a whole nother debate I think that everyone could get into, but they identified as straight. And it had primarily been with just cisgendered women.
Sure. On that note, everyone, we are going to stop this episode. We are going to continue this conversation next week.
But we'll see you guys then.
Thank you for joining us on Hey Therapist. For my co-host, Riley DeWitt, I'm Leslie Ross. You can contact us on the website at heytherapist.com or on our socials at Hey Therapist Social. Hey Therapist is an SEOK radio production and is for your entertainment purposes only. Thank you for joining us. Make good choices.